So we're getting ready to start our very first job of 2019. And I'm very excited and very proud to say that this is going to be a collaboration project that I'm doing for my buddy Jody Collier over at weldingtipsandtricks.com. This is a project that he approached me about a few months ago, and I'm very excited to go ahead and get started on it. And what we're going to be building for Jody is an AWS back purge welding fixture. So it's going to consist of this big aluminum block right here, and it's going to have a couple of steel clamps that are going to be able to pull down and hold two pieces of metal, so you can do a butt weld, a V-joint, open butt joint. And it's going to have a fitting on here, so it will actually back purge argon through the weld joint there. So we have a lot of milling to do on this, and I'm even going to have some shaper work to go along with this as well. We've got I've got some prints here of all the component parts that's got to be machined, so I'll get you down here so you can see what all we're going to be doing. But it's going to be a fun project. Got this piece of brass tube right here that we'll have to drill a bunch of holes in. I've got a brass fitting right here that we'll have to machine. We'll bore a hole through there so that this will slip on there, and we'll have to solder it on there. This will be where your, it'll go kind of like that. So that'll be where your gas line hooks to bring the argon into the block. And a couple of clamps to mill. So it's going to be a fun, exciting project, and we're going to go ahead and make use of our Kearney and Trecker mill that's been repaired right now. We're going to do a little bit of milling over there, and I'm also going to use the shaper to do some shaping over there to get this block flat. So let me get you down here. We'll go through the prints and then go ahead and get started on it. This is the main body of the fixture here, and this is what we're going to get started on today. This will be the aluminum. So all the dimensions are going to be an inch, and these are all real simple dimensions. There's no real critical tolerances on this thing, but like we always do, we're going to try to make it as tight as we can and the prettiest we can too within those tolerances there. So we're going to be machining our block to 12 inches long, and it is 6 inches wide, I believe. Yep, 6 inches wide, 3 inches thick. All right, and we're going to have to do, so we've got a pretty deep pocket that we've got to mill in there. It's going to be, I believe it's 2 inches deep. All right, we have another section. We'll have a slot that's milled through there that our copper block is going to be laying in just like so. That'll be where the copper goes, right in the middle. And we've got our deep slot. That's be where the gas comes through, is down in there. And then this copper block will have some holes drilled in as well. I'll show you that on another print. So this is what we're going to focus on for now, but I'm going to go ahead and show you the rest of it. See, the end of it will be drilled and tapped for the fitting to go in there. That's where our brass rod will go in. All right, these are going to be your two strap clamps that go to the top. And this angle on here, I want to utilize the shaper and actually cut that using the automatic downfeed. We'll set it at 30 degrees and be able to easily cut that angle on there. Versus having to set it up in the mill on an angle plate or tilting the head. This is where the shaper really shines for doing stuff like that. But we'll do our slots there in the mill. So those are the two clamp blocks. This is what the center copper piece is going to look like right here. So we'll have it milled to the right length, and a couple holes drilled in the end where it gets bolted down to the aluminum block. It has a slot milled in it, and then a bunch of holes drilled in it for the, this is where the gas comes through. So this is where, right on top of this copper piece, is where your weld bead is going to be taking place during the welding action. All right, and then our last piece is our tube. This is going to be our gas tube that gets screwed into the aluminum block. You see, it's pretty simple. We'll just have to cap the end, and then drill a bunch of holes, and then solder our bronze fitting onto it. All right, so there's going to be probably a few videos to get everything done, but we're going to start with this, and we're going to utilize both the mill and the shaper to get this to size. Okay, so let's go ahead and go get started on it. All right, so we're over here on the K&T. I've got a nice 6-inch face mill mounted up in here, and these inserts that's mounted on this is actually designed for cutting aluminum. So we're going to give this a shot and see how it does. I plan on putting the block in here on the 3-inch wide section, and we're going to mill both sides of that to clean it up. And then we're going to lay it down, and we'll side mill with a big end mill the ends of it to get those to length. The 6-inch wide portion of the block, I'd like to do that in the shaper using a shear tool and show you guys how beautiful that shaper does on aluminum. So we're going to have both a milled and a shaped finish on that. I think Jody will like that because he actually loves that shaper and likes to see it in action too. So it'll be fun for him to have both this and the shaper as part of his project. Make sure all the dust and chips are out of there. No burrs that's going to hang it up. Get our little vice wrench out and go ahead and snug this thing up. Not going to take a lot on this. We're just kind of skinning it. All right. It's going to come up till I touch. All right, so we moved it up 10 thousandths. You got it. We're gonna run 16 inches a minute here. Wow, that actually looks really nice, man. Really nice. Nice rainbow finish too. That did good. I think that it's been a long time since I used those inserts, but I remember they did really well on aluminum. So I think we're just going to leave this side just where it's at. Just need to file the edges on it. Got it clean and deburred. Go ahead and remove it from the vise. Move the table down. Looks really good. I like it. We got our vise cleaned out. We got our parallels in here. So to do our side milling, I think it's going to be appropriate to use a 2-inch end mill. This is a brand new one that I acquired. I believe it was last year I got it. Brand new 2-inch mill. Brubaker, still razor sharp. So I think we'll use this one to cut in our sides. I haven't used this much, so I'm having to make sure that our set screws are actually lining up on our flats the way they should. So they are there now. Once I get it mounted in the spindle, tightened up, then I'll go ahead and make sure that these are snugged up again. All right, we got our tool tightened up in there good. So I got just enough travel to cut this side until the vise comes and touches the back. So we're going to be real careful about not jamming it in there. And then we'll move it down to this side and just cut the other, okay? So we got about 80 thousandths to bring it to a 12-inch length. We're going to try to hit that one really close. All right, let's see. I'm using my DRO up here, 40 thou. That did really nice. That is a nice cut on that thing. Awesome. Sweet. All right, so we'll step it down our 12 inches now and cut the other side. Our top is our x-axis there. So we want 12 inches. The diameter of the cutter is 2 inches. So we're just going to take it to make sure it's out of the way there. We're going to take it to 14 inches. Mike is saying 17 thousandths is what we need to take off. Let me use my digital caliper. So if that's true, that's telling me that that end mill is not cut, or maybe it's a regrind. It's very possible it's a regrind. All right, so with the calipers for a reference, I'm also getting about 17 thousandths. So Mike should be good. I checked it with a standard and it's on it anyway. So we'll just offset this side and cut it and bring it down to 12 inches. Dang, look at that. We hit it right on the button. 12 inches. Nice. Alright, I'm real happy with how this end mill has cut and the mill performed. And so we're gonna stop it here for now. We're gonna go to the shaper, and we're gonna use the shaper to cut in our 6-inch wide by 12-inch lengths there, top and bottom. Once we get that shaped, then we'll come back and then we'll start doing our pocket in here. So I find it helpful to come down gently until I just feel the tool head touch the workpiece, and I set the collar to 0 up top, and once I get it set to 0, which is where it's at, then I can just back off a few lines like so, and I know that I'll be within 5/6 thousandths of touching off. There's the touch there. Brought it down 2 lines, which would be 4 thousandths total that we're going to cut, and we're going to use a 20 thousandth step over. I think that's going to leave a nice finish, so we'll make a cut across there and see how it looks. Not 100% sure what all exactly is going on with this, but I went ahead and removed the tool. I put a fresh grind on it and a fresh hone just so that I would know I have a good sharp edge there, and we're going to try it again. So far it's looking beautiful. Yeah, man. I gotta say that I'm stumped on what's going on with the surface finish there. You can see on this side right there, it starts off beautifully. And some of the cuts through there are very beautiful cuts, but I don't know, it's got a real funny looking finish to it. I mean, and I've been watching it. It's cutting nice and even all the way across there, but it's just not leaving a finish like it's supposed to. So I'm trying to figure this out as I go. I haven't cut any aluminum before. I cut one time and it did really good, and that's why this is surprising me. I don't know what this is going on. Looking at it, it kind of looks like the tool's bouncing up, but why it would do really good here and then just do it over there on that side, I'm not sure. It's not to my satisfaction, not yet anyway. This workpiece, you can see when we first start our cut, it does beautifully, but it doesn't take long to start streaking. And I have not figured out why it's actually doing that as it gets across there. Now, I mean, it's got a nice finish, a feel to it anyway. It's nice and smooth. But I don't know what's causing it to go from that to the lines over here. I tried slowing it down. I'm only running a 2 thou. I tried different depths of cut. Didn't seem to matter. So what I think I'm going to do is go ahead and leave this this shaper finish for the bottom side of the plate. That's going to be the side that gets scratched up, you know, as this thing's being moved around and slid around on work tables. So it's good and square and flat. I think we'll just leave that like it is. But we're going to go ahead and use the K&T here to surface the other side, which will be the last remaining side there. Make sure we get the chips off of it. Really nice job there. Looks great. I don't feel the step there between the two cuts. that really did turn out much nicer than I thought it was going to do, and I like it so much that I'm going to go ahead and flip this thing over, and this will be the bottom. And we're going to do the same cut on the other side there and make it look just like that. Okay, so real happy with it. It just, man, it's so nice. I love it.